A lot of people excited about Cyberpunk 2077. It's a very hyped game. A lot of people are excited about it. But you know, with every major hyped game, we get the same type of screeching every single time.
Pathetic earthlings. Who can save you now?
Rush! Savior of the universe! Strange object imaged in the Imperial Vortex.
So Cyberpunk 2077, you would think would appeal to not only gamers, but the NPC, for a lot of reasons. In Cyberpunk 2077, you can pick who you're into and what you are. You can create whatever you want. It's all there for you to play around with and customize. Personally, I don't have a problem with that. I think that's fine. You know why? Because it lets you customize your game experience. That's an expensive thing to do, but they're doing it. And I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that's fine. It doesn't change your gameplay, and it does satisfy some people. They're choosing to do it. However, as usual, guess what? That's not enough. So, at the beginning of this video, I showed you a clip from the game itself. At Cyberpunk 2077 YouTube, you can see that there's a 45-minute video showing gameplay from the game itself. Now, this is from an interview, and I'm going to read their response so you can see what they're so mad about. But basically, in that 45 minutes, there's a scene where there's a woman, she's incapacitated, she's pretty much looked like she's, gone from doing some stuff. They don't say what, I'm sure it's some weird, like crazy futuristic drug or something. And she's naked. Oh my goodness. And because she's naked, that's really the problem. They call it boner culture and all this crazy stuff. But this is the reasoning that Cyberpunk did this. And I think it makes a lot of sense. They say nudity is important for us because of one reason. This is Cyberpunk. So people augment their body. So the body is no longer sacred. It's profane. Because people modify everything, they are losing their connection to the body, to the meat. And that's why we need to use the nudity in many situations. You will see that there are bodies in the tub, and you need to take care of this woman, but at the same time, she is augmented. He continued, searching for the right words. She is not clean. Maybe she is augmented too much. Maybe the humanity level is pretty low in her. So it's an interesting topic. It's one of the key themes in Cyberpunk. The very scenes in the original Ghost in the Shell anime show exactly the same aspect, because where sacrum and where is profane. In a world when you can simply modify yourself to such limits that make you a different kind of person, it's one of the most important themes in Cyberpunk as a genre. So I totally agree with what they said. Now, what I find interesting about this is, of course, the ties to Ghost in the Shell, which, is a great anime. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest checking that out. At least the old movie, the original movie, not the new one that had Scarlett Johansson in it. I'm talking about the original Ghost in the Shell anime. It's a classic, and in my mind, a must-see. If you like anime, you should check it out. Try to find the original, though. Not that stupid updated version where they added CGI. It made the movie terrible. But anyway, of course, you can't have any kind of artistic direction when you work in America. You have to design the game by checkboxes first, and then you can go ahead and add a story around those checkboxes. Well, sometimes you get people like Cyberpunk creators, CD PROJEKT RED, and they'll say, nah, we're just going to make the game we want. The Witcher comes to mind. There were so many people screeching about that game, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna do what we want anyway. And they usually don't pay attention to these people. But what's funny is there's one prominent person looking for some kind of clout, maybe trying to scrape her way back into the industry. You guessed it. Anita Sarkeesian. Now, I've never covered this crazy cat lady, and I probably never will again. I just found this interesting because, to me, this is her trying to cling back in. And she's even going to talk about how she's ignored now. Can't get any funding, which is totally false because, well, you know what? she just had a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or something where she raised $25,000 to open a Discord, and it's like, what? If you paid into that $25,000, you're kind of dumb, because like a Discord, I can literally just open one and send a bunch of links. It's that easy to make a Discord. It's not hard. And the fact that people like paid $25,000 for that will forever blow my mind. She doesn't have any problem getting funding. She actually wields considerable power in video games, in the video game industry, which is scary how much power she holds. Mass Effect Andromeda, by the way, if you were disappointed in that game, guess who was a consultant? Anita. She ain't going away anytime soon. So she says, hey, CD PROJEKT RED, I'm always available for consulting cause. It sure sounds like you might need it before the whole of the internet drags you for what sounds like some potentially sexist representations, which we all know you've struggled with in the past. And of course, she's talking about the Witcher stuff, which is ridiculous. So her problem here is the girl in the bathtub, the fact that there's a naked female in the game. I'd also like to point out, if there was a naked dude in the game, there would be no problem whatsoever. It's a double standard, particularly with NPC and NPC women journalists in the media. This is the kind of hypocrisy they do. Let me explain it. Now, if there was a naked dude, there'd be no problem here, right? And I've seen this on websites like the Mary Sue. They're the biggest violators of this, because they'll write an article if a girl's showing too much butt in a game, but then right next to that article, and this is a real article they wrote. They literally wrote a piece about how mad they were that Thor's arms were covered up in the new Avengers Endgame poster. I roasted that article a long time ago and pointed this crap out. How it's like, oh, it's okay to show a naked dude, but it's not okay for the female to show any skin. It's a double standard, and it really shows the hypocrisy of these people. The female gaze is A-okay. The male gaze has got to go. She goes on to say that nudity itself isn't the problem. Neither is showing and expressing sexuality or sexual desire. It's about how it's represented and what values the overall narrative promises. Video game designers, let me help you avoid these kinds of mistakes. I want you to make the great games you're envisioning while appealing to a broader audience. And that includes not offending an entire market segment. Let's be absolutely clear here before I point out that she offers you a link to consulting where you can hire her for an exorbitant amount of money to come make your game worse. Point being Mass Effect Andromeda, which sold terribly, got terrible views, terrible reviews, terrible views by the customer, and was a complete bomb. It was a case point of when you get woke, you go broke. And of course, the clapback was real. Every single comment on the thread that happened here, it pretty much ratioed her, because she didn't even get a lot of responses. It's actually kind of sad. There's no responses to the Cat Lady thread. She ended up getting 1,000 likes, but she got over 1,000 comments. She got ratioed, not hard, but she did get ratioed, because everybody in the gaming community knows that she's a fake. She's taken things out of context. I don't even need to really get into this. I feel like that video has been done time and time after again. I'm just pointing out that even in her own words, as you'll see in a second, she's just kind of looking for a way back in. As pointed out here in a beautiful article by One Angry Gamer, where they kind of compiled this and put it all together and point out exactly what I'm saying here, that she's looking to make money and get back into the industry, because she's going to point out GG, the old Gaming Gate, that everyone loves to keep on going in the media. They just won't let it go. What she's failing to point out here, though, is that movement made her like a superstar in the industry. And now that it's died down and no one's really talking about it, at least on, the YouTube side anymore, it really hurts people like her, because now she doesn't have that kind of, cat lady card that she can play and say, "Oh my God, they're coming after me." That's why I'm not going to put her name in the title at all. My title is going to say "Cat Ladies Come for Cyberpunk 2077" or something. I don't know. I haven't named it yet, but it'll be something like that because I didn't want to give her any attention. Not going to be anywhere in the description. But she is a great example of why NPCs are never satisfied. She's almost like NPC Prime. But look at this here. So, sorry, what? EA is donating $1 million to nonprofits working to end bullying? Some facts. They didn't speak up at GG at all. At Fem Frequency has been a nonprofit on the front lines of this issue for years and constantly struggling with funding. This right here. Give me money. Give me your money, EA. Give me the money. Give me the money. She's practically like a homeless person outside of the street corner right in front of the EA office with her hat out. Instead, she's using Twitter. 91 people are talking about this. Only 467 likes. That's pretty bad for her. Now, back in the day, I would imagine she had thousands of likes. But, you know, the influence goes down and down and down. The one-trick pony stuff isn't working. I think it's almost like the industry has just kind of come to the conclusion, like, let's just ignore her. Because they gave her her time in the light. And it's kind of faded. And you see her trying to leverage stuff. She even does it with E3. This year's E3 was the second worst year for female representatives since we started collecting this data 5 years ago. Not a great sign. It's like, are you kidding me? That is a bold-faced lie. I'm not going to dig into this data because I'm sure it's all skewed and messed up. She's probably taken like all kinds of crazy, weird things. I'm sure it's stupid, messed up data. But you have all kinds of games pushing females to the front. Gears of War 5 comes to mind. That's a big AAA game. And like the first time Marcus Phoenix or his offspring isn't the central character, I would say that that's a significant win for your cause. So don't say that. You're trying to leverage E3 now to get back into the industry, and now you're trying to latch on to the biggest, most hyped game, probably of the year, though I think that game comes out in like January or something. Either way, CD Projekt Red is known for their quality, known for how good they are to the consumer, and you're trying to latch on to them now. It's almost kind of sad. It's almost kind of sad. Your other ventures didn't work out very well. So now you'll go back to trying to push your way into gaming. Hopefully, these companies will see your track record and how things that you touch kind of just destroy itself and don't make money, and they will steer clear from you. Because video games are expensive to make. They're not cheap. So you need to appeal to the real audience that buys them, which is why you don't see a lot of these getting woke scenarios with video games. You do see them. You have money. You have companies that are willing to throw money away. EA blatantly did it with their Battlefield 5 fiasco where they told gamers not to buy the game. And they're like, okay, we won't. So, I think the smarter companies will just kind of, and they'll just kind of block her and let her rant. It is already kind of like she's ranting into to nothing. She has nobody really interacting with her anymore. But I just wanted to have some fun with this video and point this stuff out because I do like seeing the Fem Frequency stuff fall down the rabbit hole into nothingness. So, yeah. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this crazy stuff. Do you think Cyberpunk will hire her? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think Cyberpunk is getting a little too out there with NPC stuff? Give me your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure you're still subscribed. Seems like people are really getting hit. Every day I hear about it in the comments. One guy said he's been unsubscribed 5 times now. That's got to be a record. And it's a name I've frequently seen in the comments, so I know he's not making it up. Like, subscribe, make sure you check out the new notification bell, and that's hit. I don't know what they did to it. I just saw an update that said, check out the new personalized notification bell. I don't know why. They can't just leave it alone. But old YouTube got to make things more complicated for everybody. Anyway, Also, check out my Twitch. I'm doing some Twitch game streams, and I'd like to hang out with you guys. So come over there and chat me up. The link is in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.